Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was about 45 seconds late. I had to go use the restroom, or I would have had to stop the stream and go do it, so figured it was better to be 45 seconds late than start the stream and then instantly have to go use the restroom. Good Tuesday morning to everyone this morning. Mr. Ed Durbin, Mr. Dirk Diggler, Mr. Ed J, Mr. Pete. Hope you gentlemen are doing great this morning. It is Titanium Tuesday. And I had a guy ask me about tuning knives on Reddit, so I thought I would discuss that once again. Seems to be a topic of discussion that comes up quite often, and I think it's a very important topic in this hobby. So I thought I would go over it just a little bit maybe this morning. Morning, Mr. Whalen. So yeah, to start off with, during the night, I carried my Tucson, and I have forgotten what number this is, maybe the TS65. It is an integral. Of course, it is titanium and carbon fiber. And then I carried my Mercenary MK13, maybe. Another integral. Let's see, MK13. Yep, rattlesnake designs. Cool little knife. Made a good back pocket knife. So I carried those two. Let's see. This one, good morning, Mr. Mister. This one I had an issue with, and I had to do some tuning on it that I've not had to do to a knife before. But it was something that made me think about different ways to tune knives. And when tuning knives, it really just depends on the knife. And you cannot fix and tune all knives, but there are some ways to tune some things that you wouldn't really think about. And you might give up before trying it, but you can still do some things. And this was one of those knives. So when I went to being an integral, they are harder to tune than other knives. Not impossible, but harder. Simply for the fact that you can't take them apart to work on them. So there's a few things you're limited by that. When I went to shoot a little short video of this one last night, I noticed that the lockup on it was terrible. It was like at 10%. And it had plenty of lock bar pressure, so that wasn't the case. So I had to go about a different method to tune this one, and I will explain that momentarily. I do want to talk about, or I want to show you the video, the short, that made me realize how bad the tuning was, or the lockup was, should I say. So let me bring up this short. Give me just a second. So as I was shooting the short to this knife, I want you to pay attention to the lockup when I open it. And the first time I open it, I think I kind of disguised the fact that the lockup was terrible. But you can actually see that I was able to close it without depressing the lock bar, which is never a good thing. So I've opened the knife, supposedly locked it out. Now let's get around here to this side, and let me see if I can show you here. I don't know if you can see right there by my thumb, but it is barely hanging on to the lock bar. Hopefully I get a better angle here in a second. But I was able to push close that knife before I even touched the lock bar. And let's see if I show it again. Hopefully I'll show. Yeah, there you go. You see right there? Hold on. I don't know if you saw that fail, but that was a fail. So right here, before I even get, you see right there? Before I even press the lock bar, it closed. Just putting my thumb on the back, and I kind of disguised it in the video. But watch. I'm not pressing the lock bar, I'm just putting my thumb on the jimping, and it failed right there. So that knife failed. And you can see right there, I have to really fling it open in order for it to lock up at all. And right there, it's barely hanging on. Let me see if I can, I could zoom up. Let's see. See if I can do this really quick. All right, 300, save, lock up on the desktop, lock up, where you are, KLO, lock up, drag it to Firefox. So as you can see right there, that is terrible lockup. Good morning, Mr. TC and Mr. John. So, like I said, every knife, tuning knives, everyone's different. But as you can see, that lockup right there is terrible. Size sharpening. Welcome, sir. All right, so I felt the lock bar pressure and it was adequate. And as you can see now, look at the lockup we have. So how did I solve this problem with tuning this knife? Well, what I did was, since this is an integral, let me zoom in a little bit here. We're a little bit too big on the screen. So, what I did is I took out, since this has an external lock bar insert, that's one of the easiest ways to fix something like this. So what I did on this particular knife to fix it is I took out the lock bar insert, and I will do that again just to show y'all. And once I remove this lock bar insert, you're going to be able to tell that the lock bar has plenty of pressure. So check this out. Let me get this lock bar insert out. All right. So now you see that the lock bar itself has plenty of pressure. And like I said, the problem with integrals, because I can't add much more pressure to that, because I can push it where it touches the other side and it's not going to change the pressure on that much. You would almost need to pry something in here to bend it a little more. But you can see that this lock bar has plenty of pressure. But what the problem was, and something else I want you to note, is on the back of the blades, some blades have a steeper angle milled onto them where the lock actually locks up. So if they have this steeper angle, you're a lot better off overall with the knife than if they're just straight across, because as it moves over, it's going to lock up more, so you can allow it to move over more to give you more lockup. So what I did is I took out this lock bar insert, and I took my my field sharpener, and I simply rubbed the end of the lock bar insert across the field sharpener to take off a little bit of it so that it would move farther over onto the blade in order to lock up. So having this angle on the back of the blade helps a ton, because you can take off some of your lock bar to let it move over more and give you more lockup. So all I did was I basically took a little diamond plate just like this, and I orientated this to kind of think about where I wanted my angle. And so I wanted it to angle this way a little bit. So I just held it on here a little bit, and I just rubbed it back and forth a few times. And then I reassembled it and checked it to see if I had better lockup. And I kept doing that until I got what I considered good lockup. Just make sure if you do that to do a little tiny bit at a time, because you could totally ruin a knife that way. And I'm not responsible for anything you attempt. But I want to show you now from that picture that we had earlier to what we have now. We'll put this lock bar insert back in. And now, even without really flinging the blade all the way out, now I have adequate lockup and it's not going to fail like it did. But since that angle is so sharp on the back of that blade, I could have taken off even more and gone up to like 50% lockup. But we went from the picture that I had on screen right here, we went from that much lockup to this much lockup just by taking off a little bit of the lock bar insert where it contacts the blade. So that was the fix to help tune this knife. And when I say tuning, I mean all around action, lockup, whatever makes this knife go from a knife that you would want to get rid of to a knife that you want to keep is proper tuning to me. So yeah, the reason this came up is because I got the two neutralizers last night from Jufull, which are great knives. I love both of them now. But one of them had way too much lockup pressure, and it was this one. It actually physically hurt my finger to push this flipper tab to try to open it. So it had too much detent and too much lock bar pressure. And now it has perfect detent and perfect lock bar pressure. And I tuned both of these during the night. They're both, I put a little bit too much lock bar pressure back in this one earlier when I was trying to show a guy something. But the detent on them are perfect now. And both of these knives are great, by the way. I think I was one of the first ones to get them in. Only a few of us got them yesterday. You need to make sure if you ever file off a lock bar insert that you try to keep the same angle that was on it, or the same mating angle where it mates up with the blade. So I held it at that kind of angle. I looked at the blade and I held it as I was sanding it down. I hit this corner more than I did. So I hit this inside corner more than I did the flat part, so that it would make contact. But you just need to kind of pay attention to the angle that's on it and try to maintain that angle, or to match the angle of the knife that it's contacting. Good morning, Sever7 and Michael. Let me turn off, this green screen is making these disappear a little bit. Let me see if I can adjust the tolerances where we can see that those lines better. Let me see here. Can I make that line thicker by making this smaller? Okay, that didn't work totally. Now we're getting a green tinge some places. All right, that didn't work. Let's go back this way. Let's see if this works. No, that didn't work. Aha. There we go. I think that looks better. Now we can actually see. Now my hands are getting artifacts and I'm getting shadows on them. Oh, it's just kind of weird. But the knives show up better. I just got tired of those backgrounds I've been using and wanted to be able to change them. So the knives look good. I don't care what my hands look like if I got some weird shadows. The knives show up good. But yes, Sever 7, I think you're going to like these if you got them. The detent on them is perfect. Action is perfect. After tuning them, of course. Ed, yeah, I mean, pick out some that you think would look good as background. Some of the ones I tried of yours, like, have like just a focused point. Like they'll have one little picture and then the rest of it's all like blank or black or something. So I wanted something that had texture and stuff all the way to the edges. So find me some and I'd be glad to. I like this one and I like this black one right here too. I mean, I can go to the straight green. No problem with that either. I don't mind using the green for a while. But a guy asked me on Reddit how to start tuning your knives, and these two were a good example. And I wanted to show, this one is perfect now, absolutely perfect. You got a Rosie XL, a Dixon, a Miso, a Nimble X, and a Padre. Yeah, what do you think of the Dixon? Oh, I know green shows the knives better. So would, because I don't have any of the, it shows my hands better too because there's no effects. Yeah, and I'm gonna put, actually I'm gonna put this one back for now. Let me see. I had that blue one on there yesterday with the triangles and all that. I'm gonna throw this one back down for now. So the Dixon feels good, huh? There we go. Now there's no effects. That should show up great. Yeah, I love my X Padre. All right. Now we got some room over here. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little. Let's see. That looks good. Can I zoom out one more? Maybe. Nope. Looks like that's about it. I've reached my limit on this mat. Be right here. All right. So yeah, these knives, I need to take a little bit of pressure out of this one. The detent's a little strong on it. and it doesn't close exactly. So I'm going to show really quick. Oh, by the way, these knives, the neutralizer, has a T15 pivot. It's pretty awesome. T15 pivot and T8 on the two body screws, and the lock bar insert screw is a T8, I believe. I think everything should go to T8s now. But the fact it's got a T15 is pretty wild. I'm glad. Let's see, and I need a 15, so that should be a 15 right there. Yep, that is a 15. Thank you, Matt. So yeah, I want to just give y'all real quick on tuning. And like I said, you can't tune and fix every knife, but a lot of knives, the lock bar has a lot to do with it. So that's a good place to start. Morning, Knives Are Life. I don't think Ed likes the Dixon. I love the Dixon. This knife is built cool too. It's got, I don't know if you noticed, but really doesn't have any screws on the show side. It's got that T15 pivot and then no screws. It's one of those knives that has the screws that attach from the other side and go through and thread into one side of the, so yeah, I like knives that are built like that. So the screws come in from one side and thread into the other side of the scale, so you don't have screws but on one side. So I wanted to show this knife. It does come with the nice fully caged bearings like they've been doing. The ones that are like skiffs. Come on, focus. The really nice fully caged ones. So, as I was explaining to the guy earlier, adding pressure to a knife is much easier than removing pressure. So if you need to add pressure, you just take and bend this bar inward a little bit, and you can do that without having to remove the lock bar insert. But if you need to remove some pressure, like I do on this one, then you can only go that far, and it's really not going to put a bend in it. So adding pressure, this one's got too much pressure at the moment, so I need to remove a little pressure. And you can see how far the lock bar moves when it's disassembled. So yeah, it's easier to add pressure than to remove pressure. So this one is actually a pain in the butt too, because they put a locating pin on the left hand side of this lock bar insert, and the tolerances are really good on it, so it's almost impossible to get it out without shooting it across the room. So I will show you how to do that as well. So I don't know if you can see there, but it's got a little pin right there, and you can see that there's barely any kind of gap underneath there. But I will show you really quickly the way that I deal with that. And that is, I take my little screwdriver kit and I find one of the microscopic flatheads, like, let me see if I can find one of the smallest ones. I had some smaller ones in my kit at work. Actually, there are some small ones in here. So I take one of these little microscopic flatheads and I use it to get in behind the lock bar insert I don't know if y'all can see that tiny gap there, but I'm going to try to get in by that locating pin right there and lift up. And since I've already removed this one, it made it a little easier, but I guarantee you guys that are taking apart this knife to begin with will have issues with getting that out. One guy already said he did. So once you have that out, then you can adjust your lock bar pressure. And the way I tell people to do this is to kind of press it until you feel it like where it wants to stop naturally, like not pressing it really hard, and then just give it a couple of flexes past that. So go to that point where it's kind of square and then give it just a couple of presses and do that, and then reassemble and check it all, and then go through the whole thing again. And I know that might sound like trouble, but if it's turning a knife from a knife you want to get rid of to a knife you want to keep forever, then I don't think it's too much to go through. But just give it a couple of little presses. You'll learn after doing it a few times how much pressure you need to actually use. Put that lock bar insert back in. Put the pivot back in. Put the blade back on. Put the scale back on. Dang it. Take the blade back off. Take the pivot back off. Put the pivot collar that fell off back on. Put the pivot back on. Put the blade back on. Put the scale back on. Put the pivot back on with the T15. Put the back spacer back in. If you do take this apart, there's two screws. One's longer than the other. The longer one goes towards the back of the knife, and the shorter one goes towards the front. Make sure those are kind of dropped in, lined up, before you start tightening one of them. Start tightening one of them. Get it in, then you can get the other one. Then you can close the blade a little bit and make sure you got the pivot tight. And then you can check your detent and your lockup. So this one is looking about right now, about 20% lockup. It drops just like this one does now. So I took out a little bit of pressure. They both drop really easy now. So I'm good with that. Now, one more thing with these knives from China, you need to make sure you do is to check your pivots occasionally, because they want to back out. And if you do need to fix that, if it always keeps doing it, then you can put a little bit of blue Loctite, not red, blue or purple Loctite in there, and get it tightened to how you like it, where it's perfect, and then Loctite it in, and you'll be good to go. But as far as I think there's ways to take knives that you would want to get rid of and turn them into knives that you'd want to keep. And lockup and detent and lock bar pressure is one of the key things that affects that, in my opinion. And don't be scared to work on your knives. Like, I know so many people are scared to take apart their knives. What else could a backspacer be? What was that in reference to? What did I say that made you say that? By the way, size-wise, this knife is a perfect 4-finger knife. My knife splits that corner back there on my big hands. My pinky, I mean, splits that corner, but it still does fit on the top of the scale. But now the action on these is perfect for me. And everybody likes a little bit different action too, so that's why you need to learn how to tune your knives. Because some people prefer, you know, to really have to shake it or to push it closed. And I like mine to just, with a little bit of a shake, to just drop. So yeah. Great knife. If you want one, the link's in the description. I mean, in the Discord, sorry. But this one had terrible lockup and now has great lockup. Let me think of another thing that has to do with tuning real quick, and then we'll start looking at some knives. A lot of times, though, you'll get lock rock. So if you try to remove lock pressure, let me see if I can show it on this knife. So right now, with it over where it's at, the blade will not rock up and down. But if I move this back just a little bit, then the blade starts to wiggle. So a lot of knives will get that vertical blade play if you try to remove lock bar pressure, simply because it's hitting on the back of the blade and not going over far enough to make good contact. And that's what he was talking about where those two mating surfaces are. So you can work on that mating surface and get it to move over even with less pressure. So a lot of times knives need more pressure because their mating surfaces aren't mating up correct. Because I can push this one over even further. And a lot of knives you can take and you can push, you know, you can manually push the lock over more. So sometimes they'll have adequate pressure, but they won't have enough pressure to, the mating surfaces aren't matching up nicely. So you need to work on those two mating surfaces, and then it'll move over with the same amount of lock bar pressure, but keep that rocking from happening. So there's lots of things that can cause different issues with knives. Yeah, William, lock rock sucks. I think currently I have maybe one knife, and I can't remember what it is, that has a little bit of lock rock. And I need to find that knife, and I need to show how to fix that. Because I've kind of learned over a bit of time how to fix that. But just like this one, lockup is good on this one, but if I push hard enough, it'll move over even more, see? And so, according to how much lock bar pressure you have, like it'll stop right there, or you can push it a little more and it'll go towards the middle. So a lot of times it's not the lock bar pressure, it's where these two mating surfaces are. And if you can get them to match up a little better, then you can remove some pressure but still have it move over enough to lock up the knife safely. So if you have a knife that rocks, first you need to check and see where the lockup is on the blade, and then you need to start working on trying to make those two surfaces so that it moves over more and locks up. But I think it's a super important thing with knives. Like I said, it can take a knife that you hate and want to get rid of and turn it into one that you love, because you probably wouldn't have bought it if you didn't like the looks of it. So it really matters what the action is on the knife to whether you want to keep it or not. Because you wouldn't have bought it if you didn't like how it looked, probably. The reason you want to get rid of it is because of the way it feels. So if you're able to change how it feels, then you got the best of both worlds. But anyway, that's my little lecture for this morning on feeling confident to start learning how to tune your knives. These are the 4 I had in pocket last night, or on me last night. But let's go look at something new. Who's got something we can look at this morning? Sever got some new knives in. You want to hop up on stream and show them to us, Sever? I would love to see the size of the Dixon in your hand. If you feel like doing that, you're welcome to. Yeah, I do too. I like when they remove a lot of that stuff. That same link should work, Sever, from it should work from now on if I don't change stuff, but that bladealchemy.hop2.org should work. bladealchemy.hop2.org. That should work from now on to get on video. If any of y'all ever want to hop up on video, you want to talk about an integral or an integral that has proper weight reduction, let's talk about this one. So they left the back alone, but they took out the sides. So that is cool weight reduction. And I like the fact that it's got the Tucson down the back of it. A lot of people get mad at their pivots for having their name on them and stuff. And I just think it's cool that they rep where they're from. Yeah, Dixon. Yeah, Dick in hand. Dick, yeah. Especially not on the internet, Waylon. Dixon sounds a little better than it could, but yeah, I get you. But yeah, I like the reduction on that one too, but the backs, I don't know how many of my integrals are solid and how many of them have weight reduction. It's pretty funny though, Waylon. I didn't even think about it. Let's see. Waiting on Sever to pop in. Gotta fix my video and audio settings because he won't be able to see what's going on with the let's see. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? There we go. Alright, I'm all set up waiting on him now. Hopefully that link works for Sever. I would love for some of you different guys to hop up on here and show us some knives sometime. Ed and Sever pop up on here all the time, but none of you other guys do. Looks like just about all my other integrals have a solid back on them. You're right. I don't know why they do that. This one doesn't have like a totally solid one. Your Dixon has a curve, doesn't it, mister? Yeah, this one has a little bit missing up here, but where you at, Sever? you're welcome to come up sometime soon, Ed, but like I said, I would love to see one of these other guys' collections sometime too. Yeah, you're always welcome. All right, Sever. You're fine. I'm going to go look at some knives while we're waiting on you. Let's see. Turn this off. Let's go browse a little bit of Knife Swap and see what's for sale this morning. Knife Swap. Alright, we got a Native 5. There's a Vanguard Breaker for sale. $260. Not a bad price. It's a plain one too. And it's the thumb hole, not the thumb stud. Yeah, I like it. What's wrong with it? Is that price too high? $260. Let's go check and see what it comes up as. Come on, internet. Why are you acting crazy again this morning? I don't have a VPN loaded up, so I don't know why it's doing this recently. Our Knives website. Is it loading slow too? Yeah? No? Yeah? Oh, this is one of those sites that's terrible. It doesn't have any descriptions of any of the knives. Yep, that's why I was going to go to DLT. Alright, there we go. So the breaker with the thumb hole right here, $320. That's with the black DLC. So the reason he hasn't sold it is because his price is too high. Here it is, $290. For the bronze stonewash and a satin blade. Oh, here's the one he's got, $290, out of stock. So he's asking $260 for it. So that's not too much of a deal. Pretty knife though. And y'all know I've got that that clone right here of that knife. Well, I thought I did. Where did it go? It's supposed to be around here somewhere. I don't see it though. Huh. Wonder where that went off to. Is it behind me? No. Well, I had that knife. That's pretty wild. All right, let's see what's next. A mini FSD for how much? $825. It's another super cool knife. And since I know this is a budget knife for a lot of y'all, we can start looking at more knives like this. Morning, Andrew. Wow, that one has good action. $825. Strider SNG DGG Magna Cut. Let's see what it looks like. Looks pretty nice. What's he asking for that one? 700 or best offer. Oh yeah, this guy will take 30 bucks for this knife. If anybody wants it, he's got it listed for 35, but it's one of those new Civivi guiles with a black blade and a black handle for 30 bucks. I asked him if he would take 30 bucks for it, and he said yeah. And then I told him I didn't like black blades. Sorry. I wasn't paying attention when I first looked at it. I kind of want the lime green one with the regular blade. But that's a cool little nice Civivi. $30 Civivi. He says he hasn't used it or cut anything with it. What else we got here? Smock black crew wear frag pattern. Smock project. Oh wow, that is a pretty smock. Oil slick. All the parts. Is that really a crew wear DLC? Yeah, that's a nice one. Maybe it's not DLC. Maybe it just looks like it. What does it say? Dealer exclusive. Oil slick polished frag Zerk scales and black Zerk polished frag. Original black aluminum scales. Oil slick polished clips to match. Lynch deep carry clip and a spare hardware pack. Over $600 worth of stuff. Will not separate the parts. $450. Dark water, it's awesome. I just showed them both. They're both in the middle of the table. They're both awesome. Took a little bit of tuning. The detent was actually too good on them, and the flipper tab, the way it's pointy here, it actually hurt. You have to get a bunch of leverage, but they're both great, sir. By the way, good to see you in here. I hadn't seen you since Blade Show. Yeah, I know. I got lucky this time. Normally I'm on the second batch, but I got in on the first batch. And I think yesterday was the first time anybody got them. Yeah, I got both, one of each. But the detent on them was a little too strong, so I took a little pressure out of the lock bar on both of them, and now they're perfect. The flipper tabs are tiny little things, though. The pivots on them are T15s, so that's pretty cool. And everything else is T8. Oh yeah, dark water. This is the, let me show you the 140 volt that I was talking about with the Knives Are Life. So there's a 140 volt Holt Spectre and Morpheus, and I've never seen it myself, but it's called the Angie Specials, and it says 140 volt MagnaCut Spectre and 140 V Morpheus. And I'm not sure which of the colors is the 140, if it's that dark color or the green kind of color. But whatever he did, they're both super cool. Dark Water, I'm not sure if you're caught up with the live, so you might want to... Yep, I can hear you, Sever. Hold on just a second. Yeah, the most mine goes to is 120 volts too. So you have to have some kind of like commercial power supply, like one of those big rack mount units or something, to get that high voltage. That's why I was asking when Bob said something about getting you to do it, I was like wondering what kind of power supply that you had that would go up that high, because mine only goes to 120 volts or 121 or something weird. But I think you'd probably have to use a like a rack mount, some kind of big server power supply. Oh, that's awesome, Darkwater. I was just making sure that you were caught up, so I wouldn't be showing this picture here. All right, Sever is in the background. Let me bring him up. Hold on just a second, Sever. Let me get you copied over here. If I can bring you up. Properties, paste. Boom, boom. And turn on your name badge. And you are on the screen, Mr. Sever.
Sweet. I'm waiting for it to update on my end. That way I could start whatever everyone's able to see.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Can they hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sweet. Hey, what's up, guys? So I had an awesome subscriber send in some dope stuff. And I'm going to show some of that dope stuff, but we're going to start with the Dixon first. So, couple of quick size comparisons.
Yeah.
Here's the Migaron Mini Archery.
We don't know what size that knife is.
The Migaron Mini Archery?
Yeah, I have no idea how big that knife is, or that one.
Okay. You don't have a real steel Sylph?
No.
Okay, what about a Civivi Brazen?
That's better. Yeah, okay. So it's close to the same overall length as a Brazen, huh?
Yep.
Do you have any, what about a Rosie clone or something, like something else or something? You got any kind of Spyderco's or?
Well, I've sold off a majority of my collection, so I'm a little limited. But I do have a Rosie XL here, which is the same size as the clone.
Yeah, there we go. So it's almost as big as the XL, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty robust. But action on it's great. And my thumbnail's super busted up, so just ignore that.
Yeah, it looks great.
Ergonomics are fantastic. It's super comfy. No hot spots to speak of. You've got a nice little poon here that you can choke up on. But yeah, overall, this thing's fantastic. There's even some, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's some milling in there. If you look past the distressed.
Yeah, it's got micro milling across the whole thing, right?
Yep. Pocket clip is super easy in and out. It's got good retention, but nothing, that you can't, like nothing that would stop you from putting it in your pocket, pretty simply. But yeah, overall, this knife is way better than I expected. Acoustics on the way out are good. Acoustics on the way down are kind of meh. But overall, super solid knife.
Yeah, I've got to get one.
Yeah, I would say definitely well worth it.
I'm gonna wait till I can get one for like $450 or something instead of $600. But
Yeah, I don't get any discounts or anything like that with McNeese, unfortunately. It's one of the few companies I still need to reach out to.
There'll be a bunch on Knife Swap before too long.
I can say that the Real Rosie is a noticeable step up from the clone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to be expected because it's, $1,000 knife, if not maybe more. But the action on this thing is mind-blowingly good. Now, I'm not saying it's,
What about side to side? Hey, we had a question about the Dixon. Is it got a lock bar insert with a steel insert? Frame lock?
Yeah, it's a frame lock, but there's no over travel stop or anything to it. Let me take a look here.
Even the lock bar insert doesn't act as an over travel stop? So it doesn't have a lock bar insert, so it's straight titanium, huh?
Yep.
Or does
which means it'll wear out sooner. I don't know if they carbonize it or not, though.
Are you sure it doesn't have one on the inside? Because that hole goes straight to the detent ball, huh?
Let me try to get it in focus here. No, there isn't one on the inside.
Oh, man. So it is just like a slice buoy or whatever.
Yeah. But, still a dope knife. Oh, here, let me put this away the right way. So
Ed said it's not a step up because it's 10 times the cost, and it's not 10 times better. And TC said that he didn't notice a difference in the action between his real one and his clone.
So it's not worth 10 times the amount, right? I can say that beyond the shadow of a doubt. But with the clone, all right. So this is how I measure action. I drop it to about the 6 o'clock, and then my goal is to rotate this to over here and have the blade close at about the same time. Okay, so it did. We got to the 8 o'clock and it closed. With my clone, I would be up here at the 180 and the blade wouldn't drop. I'd have to give it a shake. So that's how the action is like visibly different. But
what about I mean, so have you checked the side to side play on all these knives? They don't have, the pivots are tight and.
Oh yeah. I did a little 10-point inspection. There's no side to side, no detent lash or anything like that. So once again, I'm not saying it's worth 10 times the amount, but I can say that it's probably 20% better.
Yeah.
And then he sent in the Nimble X, and I think it's super dope that it comes with this card. But this thing's pretty sweet. It looks a lot like the Excalibur, or I should say the Excalibur looks a lot like this.
Right.
We still have incredible action because I can rotate that 180. Give it a little encouragement, but there we go. Huge fan of this. I've never handled a Nimble before. This is my first time, and these knives are amazing.
Yeah, I love my relative clone.
And then we've got the Miso. And this one kind of surprised the crap out of me, to be honest. It's overpriced, for sure. At $375.
Yeah, it's that one I said yesterday. It had too big of a top for the bottom, like it was top heavy looking.
Yeah, it's definitely top heavy, but you can actually front flip this, which I was blown away. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got some jimping, but it's not fine jimping. Like, it's super shallow. Let's see if I can get... Yeah, see, that jimping is super shallow. I did not think it was going to be worth a damn. But Sure enough, you can get it. And then
That's
this is
awesome.
the same way as far as the action. I tuned it a little bit, but I can drop it to about the 6 o'clock, and then I can rotate it up. It's hard because I'm doing it at an angle instead of letting gravity do all the work. But yeah, this reminds me like directly of a Chavez. It's got
let me answer Dark Water. Dark Water. Let me show you real quick. So Lemifshi made the gear pivot surrounds for $5 for the for all his duck and ducklings. Let me find the link for you here. Let me take Sever off for a second. So if you type in, I've got the link on my Discord in the links channel. My internet's acting weird today. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe that. No, that's not it. All right. So if you type in Lemifshi and duck, they should come up for $5. Dang it! I knew they wouldn't. Gear. Let me see if gear comes up. But they're $5 for the new gear ones if you haven't seen them. Let me see if I can find my link. Hold on just a second, Sever.
Yeah, you're good.
Where did I... Oh, here they are. So here's the link to them in the chat, Darkwater. But yeah, for $5, he's got the replacement silver and blue. Might as well buy the silver because I think they're titanium, so you can make them any color you want. But they fit on all of his versions, the ducks and the ducklings. So there you go. All right, I'm coming back to you, Saber. All right, you're back on.
Yeah, I just got one more thing to show.
All right.
This came in from the Pass-Around group. This is the Reich. I don't even know what it's called, but it's it's the tactical scissors.
Tactical scissors.
Yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. So it's got a lock on it.
How much does it weigh?
Let me weigh it.
A pound?
I want to say it's probably like 16 ounces.
Yeah, that's a pound.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 16 ounces is a pound. I'm going to guess 14.
No, it's 11.9.
Oh, 11.9? That's not as bad as I thought.
No, it's actually not nearly as bad as I thought.
Is that a pivot tool?
There is a pivot tool right here.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten it to work. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Maybe it needs to be locked.
You're not holding your mouth right, is what my dad would say.
That's what she said. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm sure if I messed with it some more. But, yeah, you can get it to turn, and then you can take them apart, and it'll be two blades.
Is it got jimping? So you can turn it into, like, two knives?
Yeah. I just don't know why I can't get it to turn.
Have you tried the other side?
The other side doesn't have the square piece.
Square.
But, yeah, overall, these things are pretty sick if you look at it from, like, up here. And they work, like, stupid well. Like, you could murder a garden with these.
Right, but I'm curious about how each one of them would feel in hand as a knife by itself. Can you kind of tell? Like, one of them would be good for reverse holding it because the blade would be... I think the other one would go good. Yeah, so that one would be a regular...
Yeah, this one has the blade down here, so this would just be like a normal Karen bit. This one here
would be a reverse.
You could reverse it, or you could kind of like claw it. Like this would be good for opening boxes and stuff like that.
But if you turned your head, turn it upside down and put your hand the other way, and it'd be like a reverse. Hold it. Yeah, hold it with your right hand from that side. No, flip your hand over. Never mind.
You mean like this?
You hold a reverse? Yeah, like that, so you could revert, but the other way, yeah. Flip your hand over, and then the blade would be out, right? The sharp part would be out. Never mind. It's like a, yeah. Now flip the whole thing. Never mind. It's too hard for me to show you.
No, it's all good, man. But it even comes with a sheath, or what is this called? A tech lock or something? So you can everyday carry it, which is kind of dope.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't have the money for it, but I could buy it off the pass around for $100, which I would do in a heartbeat, just because they're cool to have in the collection. And because who can be mad at you for carrying scissors? Like,
right?
Seriously, like nobody can get mad at you. They're scissors. This is an office utensil. And then in reality, it's dual blades. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So I'm going to go ahead and hop out and then jump back into the chat.
All right. Well, thank you for showing us all that stuff. That was awesome.
Absolutely, man. Any other questions or not questions, but is there anything else you want to see with the Dixon?
No. I'm just disappointed it doesn't have a lock bar insert.
I think that's the same for his Max as well. I don't think they have lock bar inserts either.
Yeah, I know.
But so I don't know how to tell if it's carbidized or not, though, because that would extend.
That
the
would
life
help.
of it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hopping out, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me up.
All right, man. Later. All right, so my oh yes, I got all the models of that shortcut clone. I've got the rock one is still on the way. But yeah, I've got the regular version. And I put bearings in it and washers. I put fully caged bearings in it. And it made it work a lot better. And it's locked up better too. TC, it's got the big detent ball it's got the hole from the outside. Yeah, I've got a step up converter, Michael. Not sure what the voltage goes up to. What happened? Why am I hearing stuff? Weird. Must have a video going in the background or something. Yeah, where's that? I don't know where that sound's coming from. But here's my Rosie XL, and I don't know, my action is the same. You can drop it to there, and it does the same exact thing. I don't know where I'm getting sound from, but my Rosie XL has superb action. I didn't put skiffs, I put the fully caged AliExpress ones, the good ones. No, if I turned on the sound, y'all would hear it. I can't. It's somebody flicking a knife and it's just repeating. Like y'all hear it in the background? I can't figure out where it's coming from. Oh, it just stopped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, it's you. How are you still in here? It's Sever. Wow. I closed the browser window. He was in and everything. So yeah, it was you, Sever.
I don't know how you can hear me though.
Wow, that's wild. How are you connected? That's crazy. I closed Chrome browser, like it's not even open. Oh, I know how, because I've got you added as a browser source and that page is still open out on the internet somewhere.
Shit. I don't know. I closed
but I'm
my
going to
window
delete
out.
it. Yeah, I'm going to remove it. So you're gone now. Should be. Yeah, Sever was over there just flicking knives. That's what I do all day long too. Hey, have you seen this one yet, Darkwater? The little whatever Winter Blades utility knife. It's pretty nice too. It's got tritium inserts. But have you seen this utility knife? Pretty cool. Yeah, it's got really good action too. And I love they put that finger guard up there. You can get all 4 fingers on it. Pretty cool. What about this one? Have you seen this new clone of Wild Aperon Blade Works Gallendorf? Pretty wild one too. It's one of those knives that I'm not really fond of, but I grabbed it because it was $60 and I was like, guess I'll keep it for the collection. But that's a pretty wild one too. Yeah, I don't know, man. My thank you for subscribing, sir. Mine just has that drop shut action. I don't have to shake it at all. I mean, if I do just barely shake it, it drops all the way. I don't mind paying for some, you know, I don't know. Yeah, everybody hit that like button if you don't mind while you're here. You know, there's quite a few knives that I've figured out I can front flip that I don't think are made to be front flippers. If they have any kind of jimping. What was that one the other day I was able to front flip and I didn't think I could? Of course, like Shamans you can front flip because they got jimping. And I guess they're made to front flip, but you can front flip a Shaman. There's a few more that as long as they have jimping or jimping, you should be able to front flip them. That's not one of them. These integrals, it was Night of the Integral. Maybe it was I don't know what it was. I've got too many knives. Some of them. Oh, thank you, Mr. Darkwater. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I see you weren't subbed. It's all good. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, these, I'm really impressed with these. I like the fact they're putting those fully caged bearings in all these new ones because they definitely make a difference. Like this one has about that perfect action like Sever was talking about too. You tilt it up and it just takes just a little bit of shake. Not much at all. And I'm glad I got in on the first round of these. I'm usually like a week behind everybody else. I was playing with this Lemifshi F10 all day yesterday. I took it apart about 10 times messing with it, trying to get it to make the noise better. It's got that tuning fork on the inside of it. But I'm trying to break it into where it's a little bit better, because I want to support Lemifshi making real knives, but he needs to like be consistent with it. Yeah, I played with this one all day yesterday. It actually makes that how much was this? This is the Lemifshi rattlesnake version. It's one of his originals, and it's got that tuning fork on the inside. It makes that noise like you can't hear it. Let me see. I'm not sure how much that was. Let's see. I don't remember. Let's see. Lemifshi F10. Lemifshi knife S35VN. Lemifshi S35VN. Oh, I didn't spell it right. That would help. Lemifshi S35VN. It's one of his originals, so it should be on F10. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I know it's on here. It's probably on the same page as these. Nighthawk, let's see. Come on, internet. What in the world? I bet it's got rattlesnake in the title. Let's see. He's got 3 different versions of it. What store is this? 668 Knives. Let's see. Nighthawk. It's not working. Products. Lemifshi. Come on, where are you? I don't know why it's not showing up. I would have sworn it would have been on one of these 2 sites. Oh, here it is. $90. So it's real S35VN, and he's got 3 different models. He's got the black and titanium, the blue and titanium, and the black and blue. He's got 3 different versions. There you go. Yeah, $90 for real S35VN blade steel is not bad. There's the link to it if you want to check it out. All right, let's see, back to what we were doing a minute ago, which was looking at the knife swap for a few more minutes. There's a Morpheus for sale, $600 for a real Morpheus. That's a pretty version too. Pretty good price on it. Looks like it's in good condition too. Authenticated, genuine. Yeah, that's a good price on that one. Huh. Yeah, I've got an Avera Dark Waters. That box presentation, I've got the one with skiffs and the micro milling. But that box presentation is the best box ever for a knife. That Exceed Designs Avera. It lives back here in my case next to my... it lives back here. So I got my Maverick. I got my Tactile Maverick, and it lives next to my Exceed Design Avera. Yeah, it's an awesome little knife. Great deal on them too. Like, you can't beat the price on these things. If you give me your I'll get your contact info from Pete, and I'll find you one for a good price, Darkwater. I'm pretty good at tracking down knives. So I'll find you one of these if you want one. I bet I can find you one for $100. Maybe cheaper. Ask Pete. I can find knives. I was gifted this knife from a guy that I helped out figure out what kind of knives he liked, and he sent me this one of 20 titanium color he sent me this for free. That was a cool guy. Here you go, Pete. That's the one I was talking about. I'm in Tennessee. Yeah, the action on this thing is sick. Got such a good deal on these Meton Boss scales, I just had to. Same with my smock. Except these are Zerk. Well, first of all, I'm not getting you a second Rad Shepherd before I get JT one, because he was asking about one. So if I find a Rad Shepherd, the first one goes to JT, but I will look for another Fatty Slash for you. You don't get to have two before some of us have one. I can find knives. You're asking on some rather weird knives though, some old clones. But I'll see what I can do. All right, back to where we were. Morpheus. Let me see when the last... What is fatty slash anyway? $900. Reese. That's a real one. And that's a real one. All those are real ones. I can find a... Here's a Samir Rad Shepherd Black. I'll find a Shepherd though. That fatty slash might be a little difficult to find. Alright, back to where we were. I don't have any bailout scales. I've got a pair of titanium smock scales if anybody needs them. Let's see what else we got. Here's a Arius Tuya Alamo. What is a Tuya Alamo? One in the middle there, huh? Kind of like the looks of that one. Yeah, the Alamo is that one right there. I love that blade. That's my blade shape. Yeah, that's a pretty blade shape, Sever. Man, I ought to throw an offer on that one. What's he got it priced for? $269. I ought to offer him $220 and see if he'd take it. I don't need it though. I need to offer this guy $220 on this one too. I like both of those. Ed must be posting pictures of all those knives on the Discord. I hear the Discord popping up. The Alamo's the same as the Sip. Really? But the Silverwing's not an integral, is it? Yeah, the blade shape's way different too. Yeah, they're kind of close. I agree. Handles look very similar. Blade shape is the main difference, I guess. I love those compound grinds. All right, Sever, what am I looking up? Futura and Alucard. Monterey Bay. Alucard prototype. And the Futura prototype. Why is my stupid internet acting crazy? Oh yeah, it's got mother of pearl though. I'm not a fan. And that looks like a steak knife. Yep, that's more your style, Sever. I don't like the long skinny knives. Futura looks better. I like it. I wish it had more pictures of it. I really like it depending on what the blade grind is. I like the little corner cutout flipper tabs because they don't show when you flip them around. I like the front flipper on it. But yeah, I definitely don't like that one. I can't even tell what's going on with that knife. Is it a slip joint? I don't know why they would put out just one picture. That's silly. Look at the other blade grind on the Kaiser. What do I look it up as? Silver wing, what do I call it? They have multiple. Let's see. There goes my stupid internet again. Let's see, silver wing. Well, now it's not even showing it because it's discontinued. See if they have it on the different models. Aha! There we go. Yeah, that does look a lot like it. Hold on, let's go back. Tuya Alamo, let's see. Well, yeah, very similar. I think as much as I like the silver wing, I wish the silver wing blade was on the Kaiser handle. I don't like inlays, carbon fiber. I wish it was plain. Oh yeah, there's the back of it. Super sexy, integral. Yeah, they are very similar. Alright, what else we got? The Silox. That's an ugly orange color. Alright, I don't like that one. Bel Air. YOLO pending chat. 95 shipped. I need to grab one of those with the titanium scales. Neutron 2. There's a Zon. Frame lock radial titanium scale and body. Oh, okay. I don't know that I've seen that one with the radial. Pretty cool though. What's the price he's got on it? $295. It's not a great deal. Cool knife though. There's a duck. There's a penguin. I almost bought these shaman scales. I could have grabbed them. They're Star Wars shaman scales. Come on, internet. Yeah, they were pretty cool. He only wanted like 35 bucks for them or something. 25 bucks. I should have bought those just to have. $365, so $295 is not too bad, I guess. Yeah, the lasering does look a little too light. That's probably why I didn't get it. Stitch. Let's see. What has he got? He's got some Wii's. Blue Label 125. Wii Bundle. Banter and Regulatron for 100 bucks. What else we got? Pioneer Jack Tango. Is the Tango sold? Yep, the Tango sold for 200. See what it looks like. Oh, it's the blue one. Pretty small looking too, now that I see it in hand. You gonna open it? It looks like he's got gloves on, he's so white. Looks like he needs some circulation. Yeah, I still think I gotta grab one of those eventually. Not that color though. I want the plain one. Liang Ma KUF 4-inch. Yeah, that's a weird one. What else do you have? Bodacious. Dracor. Alright. There's a Pioneer. I bought one of those. It's on the way. Not that model, but I wanted to check it out. What is this? Laconico. Oh yeah, I saw that one. That's super cool, Laconico. Love that blade shape. That's a big boy too. Yep, I like that one. I wish it was titanium though. Hey, there's a... Why is that not in... Why is that... That's not listed in the ad, but he's got pictures for it. Huh. He must have sold it in another post, I guess. Where are you listing them at, Darkwater? On Knife Swap? Send me a message on Instagram first before you list them. Hilberg Norseman 160 sold. That's the plain one. Only one picture of it. That's sold for 160 today. Oh, there we go. Is it plain on both sides? Yep. I need that model. I've got the other two. Need to make my collection complete. Blade looks in good shape. I think I'm going to track down who bought that one and try to buy it from him. Look at all the YOLOs. Enjoy. Alright, so I got to message this guy. I'll buy that Norseman from you when you get tired of it. Thanks. Well, I think this guy got it. Let me let him know I messaged him though real quick. He looks like he sells a lot of knives, so he'll probably get rid of it. Alright, got that done. Excalibur, $400, too much. DLC Excalibur, Magna Cut. What is a Riot K1? Oh yeah. Don't like that either. Hulk Mud. Benchmade Clone Bundle. Clones, Concept, and MT Ultratech. TS 399, $55. It's a pretty cool looking Tucson button lock. Looks like it's probably comfortable. Not a bad price for $55. What kind of blade steels? If it's M390, I might grab it. What does it say on it there? D2. No, thank you. TS 81 for $60. It already sold. Oh, I've already got one of those. I just bought one of those a few weeks ago. Alright, John, we'll see you later. I'm about to end up the stream. In fact, I'm going to turn off the browser and start winding this thing down. Where did I put that stupid... Aha! There's the breaker clone. I wish this one had the blade hole instead of the thumb studs. I knew this one was around here somewhere. Oh yeah, I think I missed a question. Which one of these do I like better? Well, y'all ought to know by now. Which one I like better? This one, of course. It doesn't have the crazy holes in it. See you later, TC. I don't like holes. It's a great $20 knife, Dark Water. It's aluminum instead of titanium, and it had a little bit of lock stick, but I sanded down the lock bar, the insert, the whatever, the lock bar. I sanded it down a little and fixed the lock stick, but it's great for 20 bucks. Yeah, most people like holes. Like, I don't know. I just don't like, I don't know why they do that. I like plain Jane. I'm boring. Robin, thank you, sir. Hope you have a great day. Oh, I like your Naga photos, Pete. Yeah, they both have great action now, though. The D10 is excellent on these. D10 is some of the best they've done recently. I mean, it's got very nice D10. I took a lot of mine out. This one still has more. I just took some out of this one. Mr. Whalen, thank you, sir. See ya. Y'all have a great day. If y'all need me, you know how to find me. My email's in the top right, bladealchemy4u@gmail.com. Mr. Ed Durbin, appreciate you. Knives Are Live, TC, Pete, John, Robin, Mr. Dark Water, thanks for hopping in today. William, thank you, sir. Sever7, thanks for hopping up on stream and showing us those new knives. Andrew, as usual, thank you for being here, sir. Who else did I forget? Mr. Bob, as always. Knives Are Live. Mr. I always forget Mr. Thank you, Mr. Michael. Mr. Matt Maurer. Thanks for hopping in, sir. Dirk Diggler at the beginning of the video. Thank you, sir. We will see y'all again tomorrow. Tomorrow is hump day. Hope y'all have a great Titanium Tuesday. And we will have an even better Wednesday. I'm going to hit you up on Instagram, Dark Water, see what knives you got for sale. So be looking for an incoming message from me soon. Anyway, guys, y'all have a great